I need to have fun. I do when he's draw that gun like a megaton running over everyone.
Whether chilling in the lab, equation pen and a pad, meditate on the universe down to an atomic mass. To diss me would be crass, opposition comes in last. Yeah, we straight from the sewer, but y'all ninjas just trash. You gotta be out your mind trying to mess with the team. A warrior keeps it chill, calm and serene till a villain pops up in the civilian's path. And I step in and play whack-a-mole with my bow staff. Late night heroes, bright lights of the city, cruising in that turtle van, and I got the whole crew with me. Lasers on the roof, computers in the back, hooked up by yours truly. Shredder, where you at? Divide the pie, subtract the whack, add the fact that we hold it down in every city on the map. Multiply by the brain power I possess. That's a recipe for success. Yes.
I do it, I need to have fun. I do it, they draw that gun like a megaton running over everyone.
You know the space, you've seen it on the Tizoo, reporting on the issues, the saga continues. There's a whole slew of people chasing after me. Further than the eye can see, it runs in the family. Blocking and knocking these haters out with my click. All we need is some kicks, cause we do's it like this. Shower you with our turtle power, any given day, any given hour. But ninja wanna start some drama? Leo go to work with your katana, watch him. Slice it and dice it up, tell your homeboys better beware. Here comes Michelangelo with the shucks, send you running straight back to your lair. Ooh, join on up with Donnie and Ralph, take a little ride, we'll head out south. On the red line or on the damn rhyme. Once you step up, don't make us have to go off. Don't make this harder than it has to be. Take us to your leader, we gon' shred him like he wants to be.
I do it, I need to have fun. I do it, they draw that gun like a megaton running over everyone.
I dominate the landscape from video games to fame. Across the range of America, the Great Plains. Chicago sewers got less rats than back home. What would you do if you lived under the thrones? Yeah, I had to move, cause the groove was lost in New York. The foot soldiers adored, so I moved and got a new sport. And now I'm staining milks on a magnificent mile. Extra deep dish style, but once in a while I recall giant balls falling downstairs. But I ain't scared, I got my ninja powers and I'm always prepared. Don't stare, I might be a little green, but you'll be envious of my fighting machine. Skills, pills, I never pop. I keep my body hot. I can cock any robot on the block. Stop the presses, my bros are swinging by in the van. It's pizza time, so pork rinds, label what's grand.
The path that leads to what we truly desire is long and difficult. But only by following that path do we achieve our goal.
I do it, I need to have fun. I do it, they draw that gun like a megaton running over everyone.
Red chucks on, nose ring swingy, purple mohawk with some shades for the framing, Benz in my framing, thieves for the Franklin, call steady rock, hit the blocks in the bank, and
unlike the break, these grenades is a statement to blow a few holes in my foes, leave them stankin'. Moves in arrangement, hoofs hit the pavement, clan in the van, crew armed and we dangerous. Swerve through the lanes and gotta start gunning. Cops on our ass through the roof, start busting. Start puffing, mash on the gas as I ash on the dash, bouncing bombs off the glass. Clink from the scraps, made it sound like a rap. Sweat on my horn, dabbed it off with a scrap. Turned to my right, all I heard was a tap. A sigh in my grill, green toes in my lap.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. It is me, Dukect, back with you once again. And you know what? Yeah, let's talk about this. Let's get into the WrestleMania, the mid of WrestleMania. It was, not the goodest thing, not the baddest thing, but there's a lot of stuff to talk about. Some things here, like, WWE buying AAA, even though it's basically was on its last legs. They were trying to get that stuff sell. Thanks to AEW, working with them, I think they built up their profile enough so they can get sold and everything, which is interesting. That could be, all this stuff is happening, all that good stuff. Let's see. Oh, we got Blue Bolt Sports is over in politics. Let's see. Thank you for checking in. Let's see if I can get the comments thing here. Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about this stuff here. Yeah, I think Bianca should take a break. Straight up, I don't want to involve with Naomi. I'll talk a little about that, but honestly, I think that we probably be, yeah, and a lot of this is the her being, not being there because I think the roster is okay without her, but she is star. She is a star, homegrown, big star, and WE, should be treating her as such. And I think that should be, take a break. But what do you want her to do? I mean, at this point, you have her off for a while. And if she comes back, that's going to be the feud. You know what I mean, Jade or whatever. You just delaying the inevitable. So I think that's what's going to happen. But now, that's my personal thing. Even though I think that match, her, Sky and Rhea Ripley, I think it was one of the best matches on the WrestleMania card. And the reason why I believe that is because it was, the three ladies did one hell of a job. And I wished it wasn't a main event because, good Lord, that main event was complete garbage. I don't care what anyone says about that. And, yeah, I agree with that right there. I just stopped watching. I can go, the Raw after Mania. You have Becky Lynch. Yeah, Rhea should be, but I honestly think Rhea and Bianca should have been the main event at WrestleMania. And by the way, this right here, this question right here, it goes back to the point of bad storytelling, and I think this is right here. Well, let's get into this thing. The Rock studying the interview and everything else that happened this yesterday and everything. The Rock didn't have time for schedule for WrestleMania 41, but guess what? Yeah, he did. But here he is, talking all this stuff, saying he did. He made the call about, his absence. Like, I didn't want to be involved in that. This is The Rock. Dwayne Johnson said, let the final boss step back into the shadows. Let all the spotlight go to John and Cody. Let's not make it about Cody's soul or John's soul. Let's let them do what they want to do. Even though the whole thing was Rock selling his soul at Elimination Chamber, the stuff building up to it. The stuff building up to it, it was a part of that. And he's not here. Make it make sense. The logic here. I want to sit back and tell me the logic here about how you made into Cody's soul and the John Cena soul. And yet that was the main thing about the Elimination Chamber. And yet he's gone. Well, and then he came down saying once Cody Rhodes turned heel at some point, he has developed the soul selling narrative as part of the larger story. Then took some 30 Bell shots of the creative process surrounding the WrestleMania main event. Exactly. About the American Nightmare and Cena. This is the article from Bleacher Report from Eric Baston. It says this. They had 6 weeks to plan for that. I love to finish. I would have finessed things a little bit differently how they got there, but that's just me creatively. In response to the main event finish clearly panned. Personally, I think the whole match was boring. These two guys don't have chemistry with each other. It just shows that Cena is not. I mean, Cena had moments of him doing good, flashes of brilliance, but he's old, he is tired, and he doesn't use his age as an asset and such. I look at, for example, Tanahashi. He, like I said, old, no knees, whatever, but he recently had one of the best matches, him and Konosuke Takeshita. Those two had a barn burner of a match. And I'm like, the difference is staggering. And I'm like, that to me shows how they know what the stage of the career, what they can do or what they can't do. That's the issue there. And, Bianca v. Jade. Look, it's going to happen sooner or rather. I honestly wish it was later. But the powers that be in WWE want this to happen. Me personally, I would have waited until Jade gets better. I have no idea why they couldn't have her start in NXT. Just have her start in NXT and go to the Performance Center, build herself up. She doesn't need to win the world. Bianca didn't need to win the NXT Women's Championship. So have her win. Just have her be there, get her reps in, build herself up, then go to the main roster. And that should be the one thing they should have done. But that's what it been. That's what they should have done. But then you have, well, back to this point, exactly. A lot of people did not like the finish. Me neither. I didn't really care for the match itself. But it looks like it's going to be Damage Control, not the malign group that Bailey had. It's going to be right here by, I love the fact we were just turning away from WWE. It's beautiful. It's script by the Master Hollywood star and member of the board of directors at TKO. It came across as self-serving. Pro Rock spent what appeared to be a tumultuous stretch of W Creative, leading to the biggest show of the year that threw Paul, Triple H, Levesque, and his team under the buffs. Which, it's not surprising, because those two, Dwayne and Paul, they don't like each other. They like, okay, we got our own way, another way. But let's be honest, Paul has his stuff, and Dwayne has his, and I think people will probably, when you look at what Dwayne does in his couple months when he does it, people seem to lean more to that. I think the Triple H love affair, it's over. And now people are like, I don't like this long-term storytelling, especially when you look at the build to WrestleMania. Besides the Rock stuff, it was just very long. It felt like it wasn't a good build to Mania. And instead of the build, it felt like what's the good word for it? It felt very exhausting. It felt like the date. I mean, it's late April. Why are you having WrestleMania in late April? That really, to me, hurt. It really hurt WrestleMania. It's just because, again, we're used to having WrestleMania April, early April, late March. And I think if you do that, and what happens in Elimination Chamber, it's a lot more condensed, and it's just like, well, it feels much more important. And also, another thing, your Royal Rumble main event, people who win the Royal Rumble, guess what? They didn't even go near the main event of WrestleMania. You had to open in the card again. This is, again, the problem with these Royal Rumble stuff. You get a spot at WrestleMania, clever wording, because it used to be main event stuff. And I think that's the problem. I hate the fact that you're basically degrading one great main event in the Royal Rumble for just like, look, I love Bianca, and I love the way John did with John Cena, all that stuff. They should have a big place in the card. But when you win the Royal Rumble, you should, and I say this should be in the main event. It makes it feel like, wow, this you went through this hard trial of this like 30-person Rumble, and you win, and you get that main event shot. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what I feel. That's just my personal opinion, and I always believe that. But yeah, let's get to the interview here. Is that The Rock made it very clear the reason he missed WrestleMania is that he basically got into Hollywood, said that Russell Pure's Ebu and all this stuff back in the 70s included reshoots for the upcoming Moana live action film. I thought Disney was gonna make a pause on those live action stuff since Snow White basically failed at the box office, but they have those two in the pike. And it's too late now. Yeah, which only competing in the show's main event. If that's the case, one thing that must stop at the highest levels of WWE is alliance with The Rock to help boost ticket sales and add spice to premium live events. It disrupts the creative plans and sends impossible expectations among fans that the final boss will factor into the story when it matters most. We saw the bad blood when he declared in the closing moments of the show, absolutely no reason, teasing involvement with Rhodes and Roman Reigns that never went anywhere, prevented CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre. Oh yes, this thing. CM Punk and Drew McIntyre should have made the main event, but yep, here we are. There it is. The more this happens, the more company sets itself for unnecessary backlash when a Hollywood A-lister does not appear as expected. I mean, yeah, even if he was never advertised in the first place. Let me just hold on. Wait, let me just check that. There was like, let's see, where is it? Where is it? I know. It was Oh, yes. All right, let me just see if I can. But guess what? They sold this, by the way, at the event. Look at this. Remember, this saying, oh, he's not going to be able to, let's see where it says, I suppose the more that happens, yeah, he was never advertised for the advertised in the first place, but yeah, here we are. This was in Vegas, by the way. This was in Vegas. Finally, The Rock has come back to Las Vegas. Yep, this is what it was sold during Vegas and everything. So yeah, they're gaslighting their fans again. WE gaslighting their fans once again and putting themselves into that position and making people overexcited. And the crying wolf aspect, it might, it's going to happen sooner rather than later. And then we keep going. Re-examine the game. Let's see. Triple H experienced greater success as a booker when he didn't have to account for mega celebrities popping into the frame and becoming a factor in the stories, then waiting around for them to become available to tell the next chapter. Part of what made WE as hot as entertaining last year, showcasing the motives where he created new stars, Damian Priest, Rhea Ripley, LA Knight, Jacob Fatu, Liv Morgan, Dominic Mysterio, Jey Uso, and all that stuff, which is, I doubt that because the majority of them were under Vince McMahon, by the way. Another issue. Hunter, old Papa H, hasn't really made a big star. All of them, for the most part, their big star stuff was under Vince McMahon. Dominic Mysterio, his betrayal, under Vince McMahon. Liv Morgan, all his stuff, building her and everything else under Vince. I mean, you could say under Vince, no, Triple H, but the horrible booking, that's hurt her as well. Jey Uso, majority tag team partner, and was main player in the bloodline under Vince. Drew McIntyre had he was built up under Vince McMahon immensely. Gunther, his whole Intercontinental Championship reign was under Vince McMahon. LA Knight, okay, yeah, that's one. Jacob Fatu, that's two. Jacob Fatu came up last year under Triple H era. Rhea Ripley, Vince. Damian Priest, Vince. So there's maybe 1, 2. Let's see, 1 and 2, and maybe 3 people here. 3. That's it. Not good. Not good. That's not good. But yet now the creative plans are just whatever The Rock or everything else on Raw and SmackDown. Again, getting right back to the days of the part-timers. Like, okay, these guys don't mean anything. What about when it's only caring about when Undertaker shows up, Batista shows up, Orton, Cena, they're on their last stage. Those are the most important people. Lesnar, Taker. Yeah. Exactly. That was we're in those eras nowadays. And they had clear plans and effective, oblivious, effective story direction. And the result, exactly, they did. This was true. They had a coherence. But now they have to go back with that. But you know what? Let's really be real here. Hunter is not going to be around long. I mean, since then they go all MAGA, and since they're doing that, that means, ladies and gentlemen, that Vinnie Mac is going to be on his way back sooner rather than later. And now this pretty much goes right back here is he wants to get back to those stories about coherent product. The Rock made it clear that he has commitments elsewhere. He should not feel beholden to what he wants to pop in and do, book how he wants, and not get anyone else over. It was not uncommon for the 2025 Hall of Fame inductee to feature bigger stars and backstage and promos or video packages to further stories on ensuring Dragon League got on television. Barely on television. Dude was only up. The only times he was based on television was being an LWO lackey, or losing matches, or winning. The only matches he won with consistency is his speed matches. Yeah, that was it. Dragon League rarely gets any shine, and now you got Ray Phoenix. Now you're gonna have Vikingo and such that he's gonna be there. Dragon League is just like he's trying. At this point, By late summer, he's gonna be back in maybe in the late fall. He's gonna be right there. I wouldn't be surprised that AEW pick him back up. Be right back with his brother, causing havoc and such. That's what's gonna be, in my personal opinion. Don't like it, but that it is what it is at that point. Oh, and looking at hockey game, by the way. I think the Senators and the Leafs are tied up. I'm doing multitasking. I'm calling these things because that's what I do, baby. Yeah. And yeah. By the way, Otis and Chad Gable. Remember this? Otis and Chad Gable. And by the way, why is Sami Zayn was playing that storyline? I don't know why. You could have just had Otis versus Gunther, which, by the way, they had a match recently, and it was pretty good. Otis versus Gunther. Otis wins. He gets the Intercontinental Championship, and then Chad gets jealous, and he goes off and betrays Gunther, Otis or whatever. Remember that? Remember that could have been the story, but no, they went with Sami Zayn for whatever reason, and then Otis got further and further pushed back into the background, and now they're completely gone. And now he has American Alpha, which is basically Alpha Academy, but just even more losers. But now they got a Mexican gimmick now with Chad Gable, American El Grande or whatever, American Arcano. I don't care. But yeah, that's what we have right now, and that's what is going to What happened to them? I'm frustrated. I am frustrated with the lack of the Creed brothers, who are generally talented, are just like, they're just the complete losers and doofuses. They should be the ones tagging. Like, they should be just, why are we going? Look, I like the New Day and their heel New Day, which, by the way, they couldn't do anything with the whole Big E and everything else. Is Big E can't be cleared, or are they just like, we don't know what we're doing? So that's another issue. Their tag division on Monday Night Raw has been completely done. And it's like, oh, wow, we have the New Day, so hopefully they'll do something, but I doubt it, because there's no good tag team. All the good tag teams are on SmackDown. That's the problem. And then you have, like I said, they're doing back and forth, this, that, and the other, and the third. And I'm just like, once again, they don't really know what they're doing. The WWE has no idea what they're doing. They have, it's just, it's frustrating. It is a frustrating mess. And by the way, this is happening in all, and there's something here. Let's see if I can get this thing right. Okay. Well, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Yeah. Let's just share the screen here. But I think it's right here from Alpha Announcing, right here. Right here, dislike right here. Dislike fans thinking and hoping and anticipating that he will make a surprise appearance to pay off the angle to help Cena win this record 17th championship. Really kept some of that magic from the year prior, where countless run-ins from Bloodline rules that saw Rhodes win his first world championship. They saw everything and all that good stuff. But that didn't happen. And then Travis Scott did his little saunter down the ring. The lone distraction led to a low blow and a belt shot to Cena, and the crowd cheers. Another problem. Cena was cheered like immensely. Was cheered, and now Cody Rhodes is now turned into a villain. I don't get this. It's the contrarianness of this product. The contrarianism is with the fan base is such, I don't get this. The foreign crowds got it. They were so pro Cody Rhodes, but now it's just when they go back to America for some reason, the fears that people said about Cody Rhodes, the crowd's going to turn against him, happened. All because John Cena turned heel. I don't get it. I don't get these people. It's like I don't get it. It's either contrarianism or just, wanted to be all, important to the crowd. Because I don't know why Cody would turn heel at this. And here's another problem. Cody turns heel, crowd gonna cheer him too. And then, it won't make any logical sense. Because again, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what is going on with these type of things. Yeah. Oh, what's up, owner? Still the gun. It says this. Yep. There it is. It's just these two, Hunter and Dwayne, are trying to put up each other and put put the other one in a bad spot. And you know what? The way things are going, Dwayne is going to basically probably be the one lasting long because you know how TKO. I mean, Nick Khan is closer to Dwayne than Hunter. And right here, well, yeah, that's what we have. It's gonna get. I think it's gonna get worse before it gets better. So sit back and enjoy this, man. The backstage drama is gonna be even more over than the people around the and stuff, and that should not be the case. It should not be the case, and I wish that is. I think there's an issue of all of that, just the issue of what WWE should be doing right now. They should be in a very positive place. They got AAA, and all this stuff, some new talent that can actually help them, build up their talent and give a really good foothold, somewhat a foothold in Mexico. And, but then this really bad WrestleMania. Raw after Mania was, okay, as I see it. NXT is NXT, and SmackDown. By the way, John Cena is the champion of SmackDown. By the way, you remember that? He's supposed to be the SmackDown champion, and Gunther out here choking people out. Michael Cole and Pat McAfee out because he lost the world title. Which the hope will be at least the championships will actually be important. Yeah. Well, let's just see if I can get this. All right. Yeah. Well, that's a good point. Yeah, I mean, it's very rare to see any good. Bianca is a miracle beyond miracles. To have that type of chance to do it, and the Street Profits, who should have been at Mania more than the New Day. Let's be honest, and I would put the New Day on Raw after Mania or whatever. Or put in a street fight or something. Do something exciting. But this it feels like WWE just has nothing really to do. It's just this a real strong. They have the ability to do something great, but instead, like everything else, they just they fall short. And by the way, AEW had a really good show last night. Really good stuff, and they keep doing their head down. And Tony Khan ain't tweeting as much. The only time I saw him tweeting today was him getting Travis Hunter in the NFL draft, which is actually a pretty good pick, by the way. But yeah, they're doing this. They're moving. They're letting their enemy do. Don't stop your enemy when they're doing mistakes. I think. Let's just see. Who said that? Let's see. Which quote says that? Okay, come on. Oh, it's Napoleon Bonaparte saying, "Never interrupt your enemy when he's making a mistake," and that's something I think Tony Khan probably looked that up and probably started doing it. Not tweeting, not doing it. Let them completely collapse on themselves. But hey, that can only last one on, man. Yeah. Oh yeah, they are losing. I wouldn't be surprised. Triple K family Bianca now too. Yes, Master P over Travis Scott. Yeah. At least Master P actually has some decent albums. Really good stuff. But anyway, we're gonna let me just take a little bit of a break. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. And when we do, we're gonna talk. We're gonna finally get into some of those video games. Let's see, because everyone talked about Nintendo Switch. Nintendo Switch 2. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. It's no one's going to do anything. This is gonna be the worst pre-order, the tariffs and everything else. And yet, guess what happened? Oh my gosh, everybody bought it. Everyone's buying the pre-orders, everyone's going crazy. But I will give you my thoughts on that right after this. We'll be right back. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for listening and everything else. Oh, boys and girls. Oh, man. Everybody talked about this. And let me see if I can get this. You know, everybody. Oh, my goodness. Talking about, this is, I know this is on Twitter, but this is a thing. But you know what? Let me just put this right here. All this stuff here. Share this tab here. Trying to buy Mario Kart World Alone is crashing the Best Buy site. Other games you can buy, no problem. Not Mario Kart. It's like this. You motherfuckers said you vote with your wallets. Yep, that's how it is right now. Because right now, ladies and gentlemen, the Switch 2, everyone's like, I know who's going to buy it. And the tariffs, everyone's going to, it's going to be this, that, and the other, the third. Guess what happened? Guess is what happened, ladies and gentlemen. Guess what? They all went and said, oh yeah, they are going to the pre-orders, the Nintendo Switch 2 pre-orders turned to digital chaos overnight. Let's see. Last night, everyone went crazy for it. Pre-orders in New Gaming Center opening at midnight Eastern Time across several major retailers, leaving buyers frustrated as the website crashed and inventory vanished within minutes. Let's see what happened. Let's see. Target, Walmart, Best Buy shoppers hoping to pre-order a new gaming console related to Game Bundle. By the way, the article is made by Cassie de Blaso. It says right here, just to see. Get it right back. All right, here it is. See, all the stuff here was the pre-order and everything else. The new gaming console related to Game Bundles at midnight reported encountering checkout errors, address verification errors, payment glitches. The Verge reported Thursday. According to the outlet, Walmart implemented a virtual queue system, but users faced long wait times and technical issues. Some shoppers were able to complete their purchases, while others were met with error messages or found the console sold out by the time they reached checkout. GameStop pre-order went live at 11 a.m., and both the console and the Mario Kart World Bundle sold out quickly, after shoppers experienced some technical difficulties at the offset, according to The Verge. Our video game website Kotaku has reported starting dozens of eBay resale listings for the new console, many of them being sold for upwards up to $700. Oh, boys and girls, the grifters get you again. Me, on the other hand, well, let's just see what for me, my little situation, because I did not, ladies and gentlemen, I would not do the pre-order dance for everyone else. By the way, I would never do that. I will not do that pre-order dance. Very rarely do it. But when I do the pre-order stuff, let's see. What I will do, the smart thing to do, let's see if I can get this thing right. Let's see. This is what I really did, by the way. This is over at NeoGaf here. Oh, so no, Engadget. Here it is. Let's see. Let's see what else, if I can find it. Let's see if I can get to that point, because I think this is supposedly here. I'll do it from Mrs. NeoGaf post here. It says, in a neat anti-scalper move, Nintendo is handling pre-orders in the opt-in invitation. Where only people eligible to register are those who have 12 months of Nintendo service online and at least 50 hours of gameplay as of today, April 2nd. And this is, again, that's what I did. I put it in there. So, yeah, I that's what I did. I've been using Nintendo online service for a whole long while. I've loved it. It's one of the best things I have. Playing all the old games, new games, everything else. And luckily, I was available to do so. But some people, ladies and gentlemen, well, they went into the dark jungles and you know what? This is what happens. They went to the dark places. You went to the place right there. You went to the places. You went to the place with all these other things. Well, guess what? There's gonna be all the sold out. And see, now you're gonna have to go to those jungles saying, eBays and all this other stuff. Same thing happened to the PS3 or Nintendo for the first time. And everybody's like, "Oh man, I'm not gonna buy the Nintendo Switch 2, man, because it's gonna cost so much money. It's gonna be all this other stuff, yada 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 yada." But guess who's here? Guess what? A Walmart spokesman told ABC News in email Thursday the excitement around this online product was incredible. It sold out quickly due to high demand. The product officially launches on June 5th, giving customers another opportunity to purchase this. So yeah. Oh, I can purchase here. But yeah, it says those who missed out here, we can go, US from now. Those try again can register to pre-order Switch to the Nintendo store, which I did, by the way. So I already have a minute, this is what I did right here. My Nintendo store just said, okay, that's what I need to do. So yeah, I'm gonna hopefully by May 8th, I have the money, so I'm gonna be like, here you go, put a big old pre-order thing in there, bing, boom, done. Yeah, and my turn to shots and everything. And hopefully that will be going on May 8th, which is in 2 weeks from now. 2 weeks, ladies and gentlemen. I have 2 weeks before everything else comes in. But yeah, this right here is the reason why, ladies and gentlemen, is that you wait for your thing. You wait until you go to that position. You don't rush into that stuff because you got to go into, unless you go into a physical shop and store, you're not going to get this online unless you're truly lucky. I know I saw some people over at the Blue Sky and the Twitters and the X's and the Facebooks and all that good stuff. I saw some people say, hey, I got it. But more often than not, the scalpers have already got them. Just you have to operate in a mindset that the scalpers already got them. Me, I'm going to sit back and wait since I have the minimum 12-month stuff. And if you do have that situation, that's probably what would be the best way to do it. It's the first come, first serve. So hopefully I get that. But yet, it says that we'll do May 8th will suddenly be emailed. May eligible registrants will come on a first come, first serve basis. And they will be delays. But yeah, it says warn customers that the PlayStation, the Nintendo 2 from the My Nintendo store could be delayed due to high demand. We'll be thrilled by the enthusiasm for the Nintendo Switch 2 due to high volume demand. We'll be working diligently to fulfill orders as possible, but delivery on June 5th is not guaranteed. So yeah, we might not see this stuff here. And you know what? I'm okay with that. You know what I'm saying? I am okay with that. I am okay with that with the wait. I'm okay with the wait, man, because if you, sometimes a little bit of waiting. I waited for a while to get my Switch and got the online stuff later. Bada bing, bada boom, and we're done. So I did that. I waited, and there you go. Sometimes you gotta wait a while for all the stuff to get in. But if I am going to pre-order, and I'm going to make sure I get the best chance possible. And by the way, over 2 million Japanese customers are applied to pre-order to the Nintendo Switch 2. A lot of Japanese folks, so 2.2 million. They are amazingly say that says this number far exceeds our expectation and far exceeds the number of Nintendo Switch 2 consoles that can be delivered from my Nintendo store on June 5th. Wow. So this is a banger already. So this has been a huge success. In the time frame. Nintendo Switch has been a huge success of this whole console. When you look right here, it's just look at this. You can't buy it, and it takes a while to do so. And like I said, the scalpers have gotten it, the bots and everything else. I waited to get this thing here. And the one thing is the whole tariff discourse. They were going to go live April 9th, but then the pre-orders were going to go live on April 9th, but then President Trump, the tariffs and everything, and then he walked back as soon as 90-day pause. Then it says, okay, we're going to 24th live. So they're doing it live. And now back and forth trade war. So it'll be $499 and $500 respectively. The Switch 2 accessories will experience price adjustments on April 2nd and change to market conditions. Other adjustments to the price of the products, all that type of stuff. So it's going to be released officially in June 5th. I am, like I said, this is going to be it's just going to be really a huge launch. And it looks like they've done, with the pre-orders alone, it looks like they've done Nintendo is probably going to be they're the last of the Mohicans of the console wars. Because everyone's becoming multi-platform. You play Sony games on Steam. The same as Microsoft. You can play all this stuff there. Now with the power they have, I think Nintendo just pretty much have won the console war. They have basically they've done it. They've won the console war. They've won it. And now here we are in this last little second. What is going to be the future of the gaming world? It looks like this is going to be the Switch. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. This might be Nintendo's last console because, what else can you do other than VR? Because what they've done, unless they can finally get something that's good enough for Xbox 360 type of thing, who knows? That's what's going to be in this this huge thing is because what else can they do? They have already innovated because you can play big games now on mobile now. So, and I know some people are pissed off because of the the downloadable thing. And I get that. And I hear the frustrations as well, because I think physical copies means you own the physical copies. Physical copies should be, you should own your product and own it, and you don't have to worry about someone taking it away from you. But also, I don't want, because sometimes you got to look and say physical copies, you might lose them. Or you might, have them stolen or something. Someone might steal your stuff. Or there's no space for them. You can only have space for so long. And they will wear down and, rust out or whatever. That's my worst fear about these consoles and everything else. It can be rusted and busted, all that stuff. So my solution and such like that is having a mix of physical and digital, and being like, okay, if you want the physical copies, you can get the physical copy. No worry, here you go. But also, I would say if it starts decaying or whatever, you will also have a digital copy as well. You can have a digital copy so you can move around or whatever like that. That's what I think that would be for best. Well, not just for business, but also best for the consumer, but also best for the people, or that sort of thing. I think it would be really a good thing to keep these games, because it is history. These video games and all the people who worked on them should not be disappeared or forgotten. And that's what I truly believe. That's what I personally believe. I want to hear what you have thoughts you have to say about that. Leave something in the comments below. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. It's Dukect here. Peace and love. I will see y'all when I see y'all later.